doesn't it feel like when it rains, it pours sometimes?
Oh my gosh, that's been my year.
Yeah,
my summer, worst summer
it's like
I've ever had.
one thing gets fixed and it's exposed another thing. We see it in our heart that next thing gets fixed, and that exposes another thing in our heart.
Ladies and gentlemen, dogs and fleas, pull up a chair, sit on your knees, for we have a story to tell you that we are still learning about. Welcome to Talk the Walk. My name is Henry Moses.
My name is Jared Moreland.
I'm Jenny Tucker.
And I'm Gabriel Moses, and we are super happy to be here, and thank you all for joining us today, wherever you may be.
Full strength.
I do want to say one thing real quick. It is after September 25th.
One thing and real quick. That's a challenge for you.
Yeah.
Let's see if you
Especially in Kirk mode.
Can you do it?
It is after September 25th. Jenny, can you guess what I would like to say? Merry Christmas
She just rolled her eyes.
Season to everybody.
We all collectively rolled our
Merry
eyes.
Christmas season.
He's already started the decoration in his house. It's
is
go
that
time.
One of our loan officer assistants said yesterday that you were listening to.
It starts on September 25th. I said, Heather called me, and which is the assistant that Jenny's talking about, to go over some. I said, hey, before we do anything else, I want you to listen to something. And I had her on speaker so she could hear, and I turned it up. To be fair, she did say, that's very pleasant. And
That's Heather
happy.
for you. Heather's going to be nice all day.
No, she
Yeah.
won't. Not to me,
Yes,
she doesn't.
she will.
Oh, no.
Oh,
she gets on
yes,
me
she
all the
is.
time.
No,
Oh,
she
yes,
doesn't.
she does.
No, she doesn't.
Oh, she razzes me all the time.
She may razz you, but she does not get on.
She's like, yeah, you're my least favorite of the siblings. Like, she says stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Funny, though.
She is
Oh, yeah.
witty and funny like
Yes.
that. She is.
Oh, but she's like, I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. Because there's Jenny, then there's Gabe, and then there's, she's like, yeah. Oh, she knows. I bring it on
That
myself.
makes sense.
So it's fine. But to be fair, she's not going to give me anything unless she actually believes it.
Isn't it
So
funny?
I
That's a funny thing. You're my least favorite. Usually with my kids, they say, am I your favorite? But to tell someone, no, you're actually my least.
She won't give me it.
So
Dang.
Heather, we've known her since I was in the third grade. So
Childhood.
she's been a family friend for a long time. She's practically a
That was
sibling.
in the third grade.
But if she loves the entire family with
Yeah.
depth, then it's not really a bad deal to be the least liked of the family.
That's right. She doesn't
Still a great amount of love.
You're still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Heather,
Yeah.
she's the sweetest person on the planet.
Way to go, Heather. If you don't listen, you need to be listening because we're giving you
She does
free
listen.
airtime.
She does listen.
She's
her
a
husband
lady.
does. Bo does.
So on
We appreciate
the
both
Christmas
of them.
thing, I will tell you, I mean, I'm the worst about, or probably the most staunch about, you should not start Christmas until the day after Thanksgiving, and then, go like the wind. And,
Makes sense.
And it would be weird if you
And
didn't.
I understand the argument. I'm not even saying I'm right. Just saying that's the way it is with me.
Well, anyway, I found
Anyway.
this show.
Beside the
About
point.
a
Shut up,
slough
Henry.
off.
I found a show, and we were going through this hard time with Charlie Kirk. I mean, just the whole nation was grieving on that.
It still
Maybe
is
not the
in a
whole
lot of
nation,
ways,
but
yeah.
a lot more people, and we couldn't even figure out why we were grieving so hard.
Yes.
It just was such a hard hit. And I wanted to, at some point, take myself out of reality
yeah.
and find something else. And I landed on a show called Mistletoe Murders.
Wow.
No, Mistletoe Mysteries.
Oh, I was
That's
like, that,
Sorry.
fantastic.
Ooh, that's way
Mistletoe-
better.
No, anything sounds fantastic if you put mistletoe in front of it.
Mistletoe Mysteries.
Yeah.
And I do not recommend shows that are more recent ever because there's nothing worth recommending
Yeah.
for the most part. Maverick. You could watch Maverick. I recommend Maverick.
The movie.
Mistletoe Mysteries is so good. And it makes me want to just live in Christmas.
It's a TV series?
Starting now. It really does, yeah. I mean, I have never felt like that, but I think just all the hardness of this year.
yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
and yeah, it is a kind of series. It is a series. There's only one thing out on it, season out on it.
That's weird because you go mistletoe. Why would
Mystery.
a marketer choose a word that is like of one season?
Because it's all about.
I know, but wouldn't you You wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah, you would.
Is it a Hallmark series?
It is.
It's gotta be.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Never mind. That says it all. Okay.
Jared's wife, Angel, will love this.
Yes.
I'm surprised y'all haven't already watched it.
We have not, but I will suggest it. We've kind of moved away from Hallmark a little bit.
Oh,
We've been
yeah.
using, been watching Great American Family, but there's still good stuff on Hallmark, and we'll attempt stuff. But I do like their mystery channel, the Hallmark Mysteries. It's kind of cool.
I didn't know they had a mystery.
Yeah, they have like 4 different channels.
Yeah.
They have Hallmark, Hallmark Mysteries, Hallmark.
Look, it is cozy. I mean,
Oh, yeah. They always are.
Thank you, Hallmark and Mistletoe Mysteries, for your conversion therapy on Jenny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jenny.
So we don't know anything about the show, just that it makes you feel good, basically. Get you out
I
of
suggest
that.
everybody watch it if you just want to go into another sweet little world.
Twinkle toe mysteries.
Yeah. Anyway, I was reading in the Bible the other day. I'm sorry to switch abruptly, but
That's like a hard stop.
I know, hard stop. I'm not good at those
Were you even trying to think of one, or did you just?
She even said earlier, like we were talking about how to introduce some things, and she's like, I don't want to do it, but man, she's on it right now.
Yeah.
Just run with it, Jenny.
I feel like we should get off of aimless talking. So,
Hard stop.
yes. Okay. Do y'all feel
It's
like
not aimless because some people feel that. They do that. People do that.
No, we were learning more and more people fast forward through our chill talk.
Yes.
Y'all learned that?
Yeah.
You didn't learn that.
More people being
Argue with your
Jenny
sister,
and
not
Gary.
me.
Wait. People are fast forwarding through chill talk. Y'all don't
Jenny
ever
and
fast
Gary.
forward through this chill talk, people.
No, you can if you want to.
People are Jenny and Gary.
Jenny and Gary.
They talk about it.
I've never met Gary, so I
Anyway, for
That's-
the fourth anyway of the
Okay,
day.
fourth anyway.
All right.
Okay.
We're excited to be here.
So
We really are.
we need more editing. I was reading about this, the ambassadors to Christ, that we are the ambassadors. And I can't even remember where I was reading. I should have marked that down. But it reminded me, I wanted to bring this story a long time ago because it's such a good way to see how Jesus does things. But earlier in the year, or what our job is and who the captives are, what our jobs are as ambassadors. We are Jesus's ambassador. We're God's ambassador to the world. And so I was reading about that, and it reminded me of this thing that happened earlier in the year where our ambassador to Venezuela, the United States ambassador to Venezuela, was there on some mission, okay? And he learns while he's there that there are these hostages, American hostages, that have been there for years. He learns while he was there. And he gets in contact with Trump, the president. And if you remember, at the beginning of the year, there were all these hostages getting negotiated back to be able to come back to the U.S. And he lets the president, Trump, know that these hostages are there. And Trump says, you negotiate for them while you're there. You get this negotiated and let's get them back. And
what's crazy is it sounds like out of a Bible.
It does sound.
It sounds like a
the
story
Bible.
out of
It
the
sounds
Bible.
like it does. That's why I wanted to bring this forever ago, and I was reading it. It was like time to do it again. Okay, so it's time to get the hostages back, and now I'm going to give you a little bit from the hostages' point of view. They had been they had been messed with a lot by their prison keepers, by the guards. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of mental mind warfare that goes on in other countries.
Yeah,
and so they had been they would pretend to let them free, like that they were going to actually get to be free here and there. And they'd get them all dressed and they'd think they were going to be free. And then they weren't going to be.
I used to do that to bugs.
Like soccer.
Boy, that is
I know, like all that mental torture.
Like I've been to jail multiple times when I was young just for tickets, so y'all calm down. But or we get carried away here. Quit thinking weird stuff. But I mean, I don't know if time goes by so insanely slow.
Yes.
And
so imagine
you're shut off. You're shut off from the freakiest, weirdest feeling in the world.
Yes.
And the moment of release it's hard to put into words how joyous it is.
Very true. I have also been there for tickets back when we couldn't afford. Yes, exactly.
I'm the only person on this podcast that's never been to jail.
He's a good man.
He's a good man. Good. We have one good man at this table.
Yeah, you've been on the other side of the law, the undercover and all the...
Anyway, too much.
Anyway, another anyway. I'm keeping track of how many
Jared,
anyways.
don't talk. Only us.
Stay on track. Okay, so anywho, these hostages, the guards come and tell them, they don't tell them we're going to free you or anything. They just say, you need to get dressed. You're going to be presented. And that always means maybe you'll get left free. And so one guy actually did not get dressed. He said, I'm just not going to do it again.
I'm not playing this game
I'm not doing it. But 6 men stood up and just got dressed again. Got shaved, because of course they have to make them look like they've been taking care of them. Got cleaned, and they go all the way, and they put them in a van, and they put hoods over their heads, and they bind their hands behind their back. And
I don't feel like freedom.
I know, and they feel themselves getting put inside of the van.
So the 7th guy just stayed back.
He did stay back.
Dang.
Yes. And they get put in the van, and then they get taken to the airport. And we're back over. Now let's go back to the perspective of the ambassador. And he's seeing these American citizens that he is feeling like my countrymen. You know, he's looking at them, and he's seeing them be unloaded with their hands tied behind their back, hoods over their head, and they're just standing on the tarmac. And he thinks to himself, I don't know if they know what's going on, but I'm going to go and speak to them. I'm not going to stand over here anymore. Mm-hmm. And so back to the perspective of the hostages, one of them said he was standing there, hands, he didn't know, are we going to be shot? And like, what's going to happen now? And he feels the presence of someone walk up to him. And that someone says, I think Rick Green is his name, maybe. And
is it McNamara?
I don't think
I'm trying to look it up now.
No. And he says, I am the ambassador of the United States for the United States. And President Trump has asked me to come and get you out, and you are going home.
Oh.
And this guy, he said he kind of loses feelings in his legs, and he just starts crying. I mean, he just becomes emotional, and the ambassador hugs him and wraps his arm, and he tells each of them that.
Was it Grinnell?
I think it is.
Richard Grinnell?
That's what I was going to say, Richard
You
Grinnell.
Sounds like Rick Green.
Yeah, I think it was Richard Grinnell.
I got to look this guy up. Now I'm curious.
And so, anyway, if you think of all of that Jesus has come to set the captives free, and we get to be his ambassadors, and we get to go and walk and tell people, you know, I'm here, I'm sent by the Most High God to tell you a message that will set you free. And then you think about the guy that stayed behind. He didn't even get up to get dressed, no hope, no anything, you know, and I don't ever know what happened to him. There may be a story where he got to be free, but he did not join those 6 that came, and they thought about him. They were sad that he wasn't with them. But you know, there's pictures, if you look them up, of them on an airplane with, with Richard Grinnell, was it? I think it was.
Grinnell,
yeah.
Yep.
There's pictures of him. They made a phone call to President Trump on the way home.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that call was, really cool to listen to. So anyway.
Something that I thought about when you were saying that, one's just like a damper, kind of like, I wonder if there were any of them that responded like the children that were let out of Egypt into their promised land, and they get set free, and they were like, I just wish I was back in Egypt. And then you got the guy that stayed back. He's like, wonder if he's glad he stayed back or not. I mean, I don't think so. But when you were talking about early about ambassadors and the freedom, I thought of 2 current things that I've read about in the last 24 hours. This is several weeks since Charlie Kirk has passed and was memorialized. But I read where Tim Allen, the famous actor, Tool Time and all that, after 60 years of harboring hate against his father's killer in a drunk driving accident, because of Erica Kirk's statement of forgiving that shooter, he said, I proclaim right now, I forgive the man that killed my dad.
Gosh.
Yeah.
That's an ambassador moment.
Yes.
And then I read today where Elon Musk attended his first worship service. Someone was, I think it was Mark Driscoll saying, hey, please pray for Elon Musk because he's attending his first worship service, all on the heels of the memorial service.
And
Think about
Elon's been using Bible quotes from time to time in his tweets.
Erica Kirk
So it's been interesting.
just carrying.
Yes.
She's been an ambassador to two big moments right there. So the freedom that Tim Allen feels today because he let that hate and that anger go, it's awesome. Praise God.
It was wild, the look on her face. I watched that video. I didn't see the whole 5 hours worth of interviews.
It was 7. My wife,
Or 7.
Angel, watched every minute of the 7 hour.
I watched her talk.
I've got it pulled up. To saved on YouTube to watch. Yeah.
I watched 7 hours of football.
It was crazy. Because it's like, how can you have a genuine, authentic moment in front of millions of people? You wonder, like, all right, if someone's going to say, I forgive you in front of a lot of people, is it real? Mm-hmm. And man, that was she herself, it seems like one of the most authentic, real people I've ever seen. She was so focused and intentful with every word she said on that thing. Mm-hmm. And when she said that, her little face crinkled up. I broke down and I bawled. I was like, oh, this world is so fallen and this is so sad. But this is also so powerful. Mm-hmm. I forgive you. It's like the biggest words of all time. I forgive you.
I liked her hug with Trump at the end. Mm-hmm. Like she stood very tall and strong and this and that. But when Trump called her back up and she came up and she hugged him, and then she just hugged him
like a little girl.
It was like a child. And then he kind of went to step back a little bit, and she continued to kind of just hang on. And so he kind of held her for a second. It was a chance for her to release, like she was having to stand tall and strong and say the right things and do the right things, and it was a moment for her to just release and be protected.
A lot of the times, you're the strongest person you know. So you can't feel vulnerable to cry in someone's arms because you're the strongest and you just have to hold your breath basically all the time. But if someone makes you feel that safe, then you can release it and you go, I feel safe here and I can cry. I can be vulnerable and I can be weak.
Yeah.
And I bet he did give her that feeling. You're okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Jim.
I was going to say Megyn Kelly, who is a former Fox News contributor and current, has her own show, went to speak with Erica sometime during that memorial service. And she spoke with her for 30 minutes. And she said at no point during the 30 minutes were there not tears falling from Erica Kirk's eyes. It wasn't like she was bawling the whole time. She was speaking, but she said she had never seen that much pain. Just someone just constantly, having to
still
communicate.
Insanely fresh today.
She had to just get up and do everything.
Yeah,
she did not
just
get
over
to
a
take
week.
any time to grieve.
Yeah.
And she still hasn't had time to grieve.
No.
I mean, we're at the time we're recording this, about 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks and a couple days removed. I mean, that's for us. It's a little bit of, okay, I'm starting to be able to breathe again. Mm-hmm. But for her, the spouse, the wife, they adored each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They did adore each other.
But the idea of ambassadors, which that's going to be a whole topic. That's going to be a whole topic for sure. And we'll have to bring it up again in that. But now I'm curious to watch this because I will say a couple things. One, I will give you a little news, Jen. In July, it says they released more Venezuelan migrants in return for 10 more detained Americans. So maybe.
Oh, so maybe they got him.
They got that.
Maybe they got that.
Maybe they got
I bet you this time he got up. I bet you he got up this time.
That's a big maybe, bro. He had to sit there for 6 months. 4 to 6 more months.
But you can't blame him.
July.
Like, hey, man, I'm not going along with this anymore.
Yeah.
And then the
No, I
one
don't blame him
time.
at all. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, when
Dang
you've
it.
been socked that many times, like, hey, you're getting out, sock.
And it also makes me think, we talk about, oh, gosh, now I just want to do an
Yeah, I'd
episode
sit
on
there.
being ambassadors. See?
I know.
Oh, we should have saved this.
So this was my chill. We all each have chill topics that we can add. This one's mine, but mine's never really a chill topic. I look at them and it's ridiculous what I put down for chill topics.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Heavy dude.
Yeah.
I know.
Do we have a topic today?
We do have one, but I want to add to this real quick, and then we need to get into the
Yeah,
topic.
always,
But
real quick.
But the it makes me think of the Tom Hanks movie Bridge of Spies. Like
a good movie.
the idea,
Never seen it.
when you think of negotiations being done, we just hear they did negotiations and the hostages were released, and maybe some of the details, right?
Yeah.
We don't really understand. It's not just hey, guys, this is what we want. We need you to give it to us.
Yeah.
It's some pretty tough negotiations back and forth, some tense moments, some probably more tense than we realize, escalations and different things like that. We're going to do this if you don't do this. And we don't hear any of that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm so curious, watching that movie. If you haven't seen it, watch Bridge of Spies. I mean, it's pretty intense into seeing the way negotiations go over hostages, and it's a true story or based on a true story. Very, very good movie, and then we'll get into in the future doing an episode on being ambassadors for Christ to the world, because I do. We're just going to tell this chill talk again. On that one,
talk
we're just
about
going
it
to do it
again.
all over again,
And we'll tell. I have all the details on how that was negotiated, so we'll tell that at a later date.
Yeah, it'll be fun. We'll use that in the
Yes.
topic.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I did keep count. We got anyway 7 times during chill talk.
7 times?
7 times.
From Jenny?
Gabriel,
Was it? Or what?
stop doing that. No more anyways from you.
I'm sorry. I'm
Okay.
sorry, y'all.
Good.
I can't help it. We got to stay
Anyway,
focused.
can we get to the topic?
I need us to stay focused.
One of us has to leave early, so and we
One of us
don't.
was late.
And we don't want.
Yeah, the same one that was late is the one that has to leave early.
Yeah.
So, Jenny, would you like to steer this ship out today? Or,
Yeah.
I mean, I can, but. I can. If,
Yeah, go
I don't
for it.
really care.
Yeah, go
I
for
don't
it.
really care. It doesn't. Okay, I guess I am doing it. I
Steer
was
it.
joking.
Come
I was
on,
trying
please.
to make it easy on you.
Are we just starting out with the
Helmsman.
question that Jenny asked us?
So pretty much. Yeah. Why, you want to do it?
I can. I
All right,
got it
just
right
go.
up.
You got it right there.
By the
one
way,
of us-
anyway,
one
will
of
you
us
go
is
ahead and
ready.
take this
Yeah,
Real quick,
so-
I want to throw one thing out there. By the way, the
Anyway.
nun's outfit is called a habit.
Oh, that's true.
We got to clear that up. We had some listeners that
Yep.
were not
Called us
that
out
were
on it.
dying. A
We couldn't
nun's
think of what a
outfit
nun's
is
outfit
called
was
a habit.
We were talking
Yeah.
about it, and
I was not on that episode. I want
You
everybody to
wouldn't have
know.
known.
That's a bad habit.
Gabriel said he was
That was
telling
a
me
bad
that story.
habit.
I said, "Are you talking about a habit?"
That's because you watched Sister Act.
It's because everybody knows what a nun's
No, they
outfit is.
don't.
Anyway,
You just heard it for the first time.
Okay.
Anyway.
I was today years
Anyway.
old when I realized it was a
Thank
habit.
you, Aaron.
Gary, do
Thank
you
you,
know
Aaron.
what a nun's outfit is? Let us know.
All right,
So
Jared.
let's change gears.
Okay.
So Jenny had a great topic for today, and she posed a couple questions, and we'll just start for the first one. And I'll ask you, Gabe, did God make us so that we would love him or so that he could love us? Did God make us so that we would love him or that so that he could love us?
Golly, man, that's thick. Because, like, so that we would love him? I mean, it's called relationship.
So that was my note. I answered the question. I was like,
Is
I always
relationship-
felt like we were created by God so that he could have a relationship with us. So it's a two-way thing.
For a relationship.
So he
Not necessarily
loves
one.
us, so we would love him. But he first loved us. But he
True.
created us for relationship. That's what I.
For a relationship, yeah, I agree.
But Jenny, you posed the question. Well, you get to go last because this is your.
Well, I'll jump in there. This particular thing, this came from the book, The Problem of Pain from C.S. Lewis. And so the reason that I found that question to be the question to ask is because I always thought that too. And that's what my dad said. He did that because he wanted a friend or relationship, and that could be exactly right. But that denotes that God needs something from us or has some kind of a need from us. And so maybe it's still right. I don't know. But there is something to be said for all of the, like, every time you read in the Bible, every time you read anything, it's him pouring out his love on us. And if we are supposed to be directing worship to him, if we are supposed to be praising him or glorifying his name, it's always followed, especially if you read back in that Old Testament, so that you may have these blessings for your own good. There's just something about that it always leads back to some blessing for us. And there was, I don't know. I'm
really
still not even sure how to answer the question.
Well, when you brought up worship, I think I'm immediately, this is one of my pet peeves, and you do worship, so this you probably can relate to this. It's an annoyance of mine. I do have grace about it, but going to a larger church, when worship starts, to me, I think worship's the most important time of the service because it's us worshiping God. It's us entering into his presence. It's us pouring into him. And that's when our church is the most empty. But when worship is over, it's like all the seats fill up because everyone wants to drink the milk out of the bottle. They want to receive. But it's like, I'm not into music, or it's whatever the excuse is. And I'm like, man, you're missing the point. You should be worshiping. Yeah. So anyway, that's a weird sidebar. But to me, worship is part of the relationship, though.
I'm doing my scripture memory right now. And obviously I don't have this. This is the newest one I've memorized. So
started this morning. Before
I goof it. No, I've got like 11 or 12 of them done, but this one's the newest one. So, okay. Hebrews 12, 28 and 29 says, therefore let us be grateful for receiving a kingdom that cannot be shaken. And thus let us offer to God acceptable worship with reverence and awe, for our God is a consuming fire. And so just the idea of him giving us this kingdom that cannot be shaken, by the way, that we don't deserve, doesn't have anything to do with us, just because he loves us. And so having an appreciation for God, like you're talking about the idea of worship. And I just like, look, this is not a Logos thing, so don't everybody jump on me all at once. I'm using my tool Logos, and it has an AI search, which is very handy. So I just typed in, let's see here. I'm on the wrong page. I just typed in created for, just out of curiosity to see what it would pop up, and now it's not there. What scriptures it would pop up? Would it pop up something on us, or kind of to go along with what we're talking about? But and so Isaiah 43:7 says, "Everyone who is called by my name, whom I created for my glory, and who I have formed and made." We are Ephesians 2:10, for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. So we know that we're created by God to glorify God. But Jen, I don't want to take away this analogy. I know you've got an analogy, probably one. I read, Jenny sent us a free, what's the name of the book that you're reading?
It's called The Problem of Pain by C.S. Lewis.
And so I do want to read that. It's very interesting. If you read C.S. Lewis, there are some words, Jared, am I right? That
it's like Miles typed it.
Ooh, it is.
I was reading it, I think that word means that. I can't even pronounce it. But
youch. Mm-hmm. But I feel like he is a word. What am I? A sculptor? He's so good at crafting.
He's words a wordsmith.
Wordsmith. That's the word I'm looking for.
You need to translate.
Clearly, I'm not. And so. But he puts this, he's just these big words that you kind of have to think about, or little phrases. But if you read the whole and just read through it, he does a good job with analogies and just really helping you to see this picture.
So he'll submit to you that in his thing, he's landed solidly on that we were created so that God would love us. He lands pretty solidly on that. And C.S. Lewis is not one that just pounds down scriptural references.
We were created so God would or could love us.
I guess either.
For God to get to love us.
Like for his purposes. Not so that...
For his gratification.
Like he didn't need... No, because that denotes that he made us in order to love him for his gratification.
Satisfy a need.
Right. That like he needed us to love him, so he created us. That's not it.
It couldn't be because God is love. So he can't help but love. That's who he is. So he wasn't created so he could love us. He is love.
Right.
Look at creation. Look at the trees. Look at everything. God is love. So
he loves. You mean he didn't create us in order to receive love from us, or you think he did?
No, because again, I would probably land on he doesn't need our love, but maybe he did create us so he could love us, not necessarily so that he needs our love.
And it's, I think too, some of those.
I think the word need is.
Yeah. I also think this question may not be a great question because there's no way we can determine the thoughts of the Lord whenever he decided to create us. But is one of the reasons, let's at least get it over there because who knows how many reasons he had for creating us.
Yep.
But is one of the reasons
this
basically submits that he doesn't need our love at all. And but you're right, he is love. And he pours his love out on his creations. He pours his love out on like even the world. I listened to a teaching one time that said he loves the earth so much. You can see it by the way he created all the trees to grow in the order in which, it rains and then it comes down to the ground and the seeds then go up and feeds men. And it's this circle. It's this perfect order and that he just loves the earth so much. And that's why he's going to bring heaven down to the earth. He's not leaving the earth ever null and void. He loves it. And so then he makes us in his image. We look like him. And then we have attributes like him. We laugh. That means he laughs. And so he has us. And so he loves us. But the next thing is, okay, if you love someone, we think about those that we love, the next thing is, if you love someone, do you leave? He gives an example. Does someone want to talk about? You guys read it too about the animal type situation.
That was my favorite analogy.
Okay. I love a fur baby discussion. Yes. It was not just any animal; it was a dog.
Yes. So hit that. Yeah, it was a dog. That's true. It was a dog. So someone give that analogy.
Can I back up one step that I thought was powerful? In the first snippet you shared was. To ask that God's love should be content with us as we are is to ask that God should cease to be God because he is what he is. His love must in the nature of things be impeded and repelled by certain stains in our present character. And because he already loves us, he must labor to make us lovable. I thought that was powerful. He continues to love us so that we can be lovable. But the statement about God's love being content with us as we are reminds me of the saying that I see it on church billboards that God accepts us as we are, but loves us too much to leave us that way. And that's the whole sanctification process, that we should always be growing and maturing, and it's God's love that should propel us to do that. So that just stood out to me.
But that's why he loves us as we are. He does not accept us as we are. He doesn't say, because accepting means, come as you are and stay that way. I accept that. But he does not accept us the way we are. He goes about the business of changing and sanctifying us through what? What is the best way that we learn lessons?
Through pain.
Through hard time. Through James chapter 1. Can I read that real quick?
Yes.
Chapter 1, verse 2. Count it all joy, my brothers. Which this discussion, I feel like, really elaborates on this verse. When I was reading this is the scripture that came to my mind. I thought, okay, this is why we're to count it all that that's what I'm like, okay, whatever I read, if I just read it and say, well, the Bible says to do this, so I'm going to do it. That's enough. Fine. But it's a whole lot. There's in James also, I believe it is, that refers to the law of freedom, which that's kind of a weird law of freedom. It almost seems contradictory. But this idea that operating inside the laws of God brings freedom. And so understanding God's characteristics and who he is, trying to have an understanding of why he tells us to do this, that it is for our good because he loves us, because he wants better for us, which is what we're getting to. And so understanding that a little bit, and I think then we can go into that analogy. I can, or you can, or whatever, if you want to and so in James chapter 1, verse 2 says, "Count it all joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, and let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." I mean, that sounds like benefit to us, like a grooming.
It's all, if you look at your life right now and you look at the pain that you're going through or you have gone through, the thing is, are you learning from it? Have you learned from it? And my personal experience this year has not been the hardest year in my life, but if I didn't think too deeply, I would think it had. It has been a truly awful year, or a horrible year. But I also look at what it's done in my relationship with the Lord and with how I see the world and the wisdom that it's brought for me. I could never take it back. I could never go back to the person that I was last year before this year happened, you know? And so that's, Jared, do you want to tell about the analogy? And this is the Lord making us.
I don't know if I remember the analogy very well.
I can do it if you don't want to.
Yeah, I do. I have a response that I've typed to the analogy, but I don't know it.
Let me sum through it real quick. So basically it's the idea of a master to his pet, of a pet owner to his pet dog. And so, which at first I thought,
I know, me too.
About this,
Yes.
like we're just pets to God. That's kind of the first thing that came.
Yeah.
Like, the more it goes on, though, it's just an analogy. It's not saying we're his actual pets.
Well, and the reason he did this is because God does often, he calls it man and beast. He does like shepherd and lamb.
Right.
So God does do this in the Bible.
Yes. True.
Okay. Yes.
So he talks about how man takes a pet that does already. So we choose dogs. He uses dogs for the analogy. So we take dogs. They already have some natural, lovable characteristics about them. So they have something to work with. They're above all the other creatures, but they still are raw. They still, they go to the bathroom where they shouldn't, and they would never take a bath, and they, you know what I'm saying? All these different kind of things. You have to teach them to sit, you have to groom them, and you have to put this work into them. So as a puppy, when you're training the pup to be better, to do better, and you're giving them baths and they hate the baths and they start squirming everywhere. They pee on the floor when you get them close to the bathtub or whatever. They don't understand the goodness, like how much better their lives are going to be because of it. So they're not exactly feeling the love. They feel like, oh my gosh, why are you being so horrible to me? They don't fully grasp it. As the dog grows and gets older and understands, oh my gosh, this bath feels great. Oh gosh, this food is wonderful. Going more for walks and having this leash on is actually fantastic. So on and so forth. They start to have a better understanding of the master's love for them. And so, but he also compares to, hey, we don't take spiders. We don't take centipedes.
Right.
We're not taking these and bathing them and trying to, there are these characteristics about the dog that makes it moldable, able to be molded by its master. And so very similar, we as people are set above all of other creatures and separated from them, made in the likeness of God, and have something to work with. And so by this coming back to James chapter 1, verse 2, it's God's way of grooming us. And so in the moment, it feels painful. especially the younger we are, the more immature in the faith we are. Like, why is God allowing me to go through this? Why is he, what's the deal with these struggles? Not having an understanding until we're more spiritually mature, then we can begin to see, oh, this is God's love for me. It's God's way of loving me. It's for my betterment.
What's crazy to me about that? So I loved, and I thought you did a phenomenal job of, as you were saying it, I was like, man, you would think you were reading it, but you weren't. I think of everybody knows I love my dogs, and this isn't about them at all. But I think about the effort that's gone into breaking Buddy and Snoopy's natural state to conform to me and Angel. Mm-hmm. They naturally want to run wild. They want to eat whatever they want when they want. Do you know why dogs try to rip the squeaker and the stuffing out of their toys? Mm-mm. It's their natural, it's a killer instinct. They're trying to rip the noise. They're trying to kill the toy. That's a natural instinct of theirs. But
that's freaky now.
Yeah. But what do? We leash them. We put them on a feeding schedule. Like my dogs get to eat twice a day, whether they want to or not. This is your schedule. We leash them. We collar them because we know what's best for them.
Shock collars,
yes,
from running out into the street.
So what's crazy about this analogy is God wants our relationship with him to endure long, and he knows what's best for us. But we still get free will. My dogs don't get to use their free will. I've molded them the way I want them to be. They eat on a schedule. They do this. They do that. They don't get to exercise free will. And I think for some reason they love that I've done that for them. And I think, man, we have to allow God to do that with us because we have free will. And so many times we say, I want to eat what I want. I want to go where I want. I want to do what I want. I'll submit to whoever I want. And we get to choose not to choose the path of our pet.
I'm not saying pets do have free will because, certain breeds tend to go a little crazy, flip out, do some things like that. And so they can choose to, no, I'm not going to submit.
But we try to break their free will.
We do try to. And God tries to. So going along with your analogy, I like where you're going with it. But what happens to a pet if they don't submit? They still have to submit to the will of the master. They can choose to or choose not to. They can be vicious to children, bite somebody, and at that point, they fully rejected the mercy and love.
That's true.
Of their owner, their master. And what happens after that?
Execution, usually, if they hurt someone.
If they hurt somebody, if they take it too far, they fully rejected the love of their owner. And even though the owner still loves them, still loves that pet, it's over for it.
So if we take that very first question and just use a pet analogy, now I'm trying to think, did I get the animals, did I get Buddy so that I could love him or so that he could provide something for me?
I wanted to love my pets when I bought, like when we went to get our stray dog, we went to the pound to get him. We were going through a sad time. And we were thinking we want someone to pet and to cuddle. I didn't really think, you want the dog to cuddle you, but he didn't even know us. He was so scared. We couldn't wait he would cower in the corner and we would come over.
You were an ambassador for him.
Yeah.
You went and rescued him.
I think what do you think, Gabriel? Do you get pets so you can love them or so you can?
To make his kids and wife happy.
I know.
Yeah. That's 100% true, Jared. I've never went and got a pet. People gave them to me and it's like, here, happy Father's Day. I'm like, wonderful. Wonderful.
Okay. Did you get kids for you or for them?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Both. I knew. I'm like, I'm going to love them so much. I'm going to love them to more than they could ever dream. And it's going to be great. But I also knew from my heart, I wanted them so bad. So bad.
In order to do what? To lavish your love on them, to same thing.
And to connect. I wanted to connect to them. Yeah. I wanted that deep connection. I knew I would connect with my children. I knew it through and through. So I definitely wanted to lavish them with love, but I also And I wanted them to experience that. I knew I'm like, you're going to have a good life. I've seen lots of kids with a bad life. You will have a good one. But also just knowing that the connection in life to me is deep. It would be neat to have deep connection. The deeper the connection, the more awesome and just rare. And I knew it would be deep with all of my kids. But you ain't going to get that with no fur baby.
I completely agree with you. I completely agree.
I was waiting for you to shut me down.
No, not at all, because I remember me and Angel having a very candid conversation probably a year after we had David, our son David, and like I couldn't fathom, this is probably where me and God really connected. Like I couldn't fathom loving anyone more than I loved Angel. I still don't believe I love anyone more than I love Angel, but I will say there is a different type of connection and love with your child. They're your blood. And just as we're created in the image of Christ, you know, people see my son and they say, oh, you definitely are your father's child. You know, he is an image bearer of me and Angel, like he's created in our image by God who created us in his image.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know if we wanted to have kids to have a family. I don't know that I ever thought, am I wanting to have a kid for me or for the kid? But I believe I'm there for him, to love him so that he can be lovable, so he can, you know, do things for other people. So I guess I feel my charge is there is selfish gratification from having a child, but I believe I'm here for him. He's not here for me.
Mm-hmm. What's that Bible verse? I'm trying to look it up.
You're just shaking your head
I got
like
so much in my mind on all that. That's so much. We don't have time.
Because, okay, no, that's not it. I was thinking too about how I think he does put he does like that resonated with me more, that and I have not really truly sought this out in the Word of God. So it just resonated with me in all the scripture that I have in my heart, that it felt almost every word that I read in the Bible ends up being for our benefit. Anything that's going on, anything that he's telling us to do is for our benefit, not so he
bring
can
about the good work that he began in you. Is that the one because I did think of that whenever we were talking about this.
It was something else, but it resonated with me that he is, you know, he created us in order to love us, that he doesn't need anything back from us.
Yeah.
That resonated just because of how the Bible is always structured in that way. Every time you read anything that's an instruction, it's something for our good. And so with that thought, he then, there's that Bible verse that he is making all things new. And it's like, so he knit himself together, he knit us together in our mother's womb. He did that. But he's in the process of making us every day, okay? And I liked that too, which is usually done through pain. We just do not seem to hear right unless there's some kind of pressure applied. And it went so well with a project that I've been working on. My mother's in-law house, you know, she passed away back in May. And we've been working on that house like one thing after another. This house had been a bit neglected and fallen into disrepair. And I didn't really want to work on it, but we ended up doing it. And once I put my hand to it and I painted, you know, the front room, that's all I was going to do. That led to, okay, I need to paint one wall in the kitchen, which led to I need to paint 3 walls in the kitchen. I need to replace some light fixtures. Holy moly, that kitchen, I think you could roll a marble on it and it would just slam into the wall. So we had to level the house in the middle, which caused the tile to crack in the bathroom and 2 doors to no longer open correctly. And then we pulled the tile up and there was, the floor was all wet. The subfloor was all wet and had to be replaced because there had been a leak that had been there for years that had actually caused that house to be unlevel. And I felt like when I was reading this book and reading all this, that I was making this house like he was making us. And it reminded me
I'm reading this book.
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
And I'm super intimidated because it's C.S. Lewis and he talks way over my head, but that's okay.
But it's a great book. It made me like fit those two together, and how he does with us. Doesn't it feel like when it rains, it pours sometimes?
Oh my gosh, that's been my year.
Yeah,
my summer, worst summer
I've
ever had.
One thing gets fixed and it's exposed another thing. We see it in our heart that next thing gets fixed, and that exposes another thing in our heart, in our way of doing things that needs to be fixed. It's just the analogy of the house, along with literally what was going on spiritually inside of me this whole year, of all these problems that were surfacing, getting fixed. Another one surfaces, that gets fixed, but it exposes another one. And the thought of him making us, he's making us right now because he loves us, not because he looks at us and we're ugly. He loves us just like we are, but he knows he needs to make us lovable. You don't really, when my dogs, I don't take them and get them groomed. I don't really want to pet them. That's not how God is, but,
I take mine every month to get groomed because of their coat. Can I go next? Because I know if I don't get to go next, Hank's going to steal my scripture.
Okay, do it.
Is that in Philippians?
No.
Okay, good. Go. I got one too. Go ahead.
So mine, there was a brief reference. I just found it in Colossians. So Colossians, I'm going to read verse 15. So he is the image of the invisible God. He being Jesus, the firstborn over all creation. For everything was created by him. Now we're referencing God. For everything was created by him in heaven and on earth, the visible and the invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities. All things have been created through him and for him. So that says we were created for God.
Yes, it does, doesn't it? Yes.
Yeah. So that was my scripture reference. I want to go back and read all of Colossians now because it's just that it's about that area is called the centrality. Is that the right way to say that? The centrality of Christ. And I'm reading a different version because I got eat up last week by Jenny over I got bammed all last week. It don't matter. I still haven't healed up over last week. I just remembered it. I was good until I just remembered how bad last week was. I got railed on.
Sorry, I missed it.
You did miss it. I got rolled under the bus, back over, rolled up, thrown out like I was so wrong. I flinched to a comment that Hank made in a text. I came out guns ablaze, and I was
have
offended.
To listen to this episode.
No, it's on text thread. It's on the text.
And then I get home that night, and I was telling Angel about it, and I re-listened to it, and she's like, I don't see the problem with that. I was like, that's the problem. There's nothing wrong. The truth is, I never listened to the whole thing. I just got offended at the very beginning, and that was it. Anyway, it was terrible. It was terrible. But I love this version of the Bible that I'm now reading. So, you have a scripture, Hank?
Oh, yeah. Just Philippians 1:6 says, going back to the works, to God working in us, says, I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ.
That's it. He's making us.
He's working in us.
He's working in us.
He is working in us now. And that's because, Jen, you had a second question to that. We only have a few minutes, but I definitely want to get to that. What are the implications? And I think that is something that we should always, when we're searching for truths, we should try to understand the truth about the truths.
Yes.
What are the implications? Why does this matter? What does this say about Jesus?
I've been thinking that for the last 30
years. Yes. Like, why is it important?
Why is it important? How does it change your life?
Right.
Yeah.
You have some thoughts on that?
Matter? No, I don't.
Okay.
He's just agreeing.
I just was going, everything should have, if you're going to bring up something for discussion, there should be something to take away, something to go, how, application to your life.
Yes.
Well,
You need it so that you can grow. We're here to grow.
And understand and know God better.
Amen.
Yeah.
The implications were supposed to be understanding his pressure and the pain point that he puts on us, that he's doing it because he loves us, not because we're bad, but that's the implications on it. He has set his love on us. And so he cannot leave us in that place that we're in. He has to apply this pressure and this pain in order to really make us into something more lovable.
He also did an analogy of a father to a son.
He did.
And in it, he talked about C.S. Lewis talked about, you can't just say C.S. It sounds weird. I had to go
I've
ahead.
been saying it because it was too long.
It's like he's my boy, C.S. But Charles Simmons or whatever it is. That ain't it. I don't know what it is. But he also made this analogy of father to son. And it's crazy because back then, when was this written? Probably 60s, 70s, something like that. A long time ago. And so he was talking about how a good father will rein his son in, will teach him, will be hard on him, will essentially crack the whip, for lack of a better phrase, to bring him in line for his betterment and to mold him. And no matter how hard it may seem to the son, over time the son will grow to appreciate, understand it, be a better man for it. And so he uses that also as an analogy. I think for me, the implications are, one, it helps me to understand that when God allows us to go through these hard times, and I've had that realization for about a year or two now. Really, God allows us. Our sin brought these hard times into the world, and God allows us to go through it in order to drive us back to Him, and to it's not out of a big God with a magnifying glass torturing an anthill. It has nothing. God is love. You have to go back to His character. You have to. This helps you to understand better.
I'm just going to say I despise that whole anthill thing. I hate
Right.
people say that. But you have to respond in love. But man, every time I hear it, I'm like, golly. Anyway, go.
Well, you just understand they're still falling. Yeah. And kind of try to work
how
through
much
them.
He loves. I'm like, dude.
Right.
Anyway.
But you have to help him get there. And even for us though, why is God allowing us to go through this hard time, or to,
because He loves us.
Because it is.
That's the implication.
His great love.
Yes, He loves us. Period. He is allowing or even causing this bad time because He loves us. If you look at every single thing that you're going through, because we've had this conversation many times, like, okay, this is for my betterment. I need to rejoice in the trials. But you need to, I think the new thing is, it's because He loves us. All the pain that we're feeling, all the molding, all the every bit is out of a pressure of love. And Gabriel, I feel like this goes with you and your kids so well. Gabriel's pretty hard on his kids. I mean, he's pretty hard on them. He's disciplined. He wants them to have good hearts, and he sees what happens when they don't have good hearts, and then he applies this pressure. He does this thing where he makes them take stacks of bricks and move them from one end to the other.
But if you know Gabriel, you know how much he loves and adores his kids.
Yeah, exactly. Right. He absolutely adores them. It goes with the father's son reminded me of Gabriel and his oldest son Logan, really, because the little one never does one thing wrong ever. Nobody can tell me he does.
I was squeezing Landon's ear yesterday. I took it and I crimped it up and I started rubbing it between my fingers. And he goes, ow, ow, ow. And I just kept going for like 10 seconds. He finally looked at me like, why in the world, Dad? Why? You've never done that to me. I said, I know. I've never done that to you. I only do that to your older brother, Logan, because you're too sweet to do that to. But you are my son. And he just looked at me. He's like, man, that really hurt. And I was like, I feel terrible, but you are my son. I have to do that to you.
It's just a warm up. Get ready. I'm going to spank you just because one time. Just because.
Like, I might cut your top knuckle off your finger.
I told him you're just too sweet to do these things too, but you are my son.
But we all grow up, and I remember as a kid, I'd hear adults say, man, I never got a spanking I didn't deserve. And as a kid, I would think, you're an idiot. I've gotten so many. But now that I'm 51 years old, I'm like, I never got a spanking I didn't deserve. In fact, I didn't get some I should have. And so now I understand the love of my Father. And as we are going through the sanctification process, we need to understand we're not getting a trial that we don't deserve or we didn't welcome or we didn't bring on ourselves. And it's because He loves us.
Yes.
I love it.
That's a slam dunk.
That's right.
I think that's the perfect final thought.
Let me guess, Jen, that means you don't have a final thought. Have y'all ever noticed Jenny never has a final thought?
Man, I can help y'all out.
She's like, I got it all out. I already said everything I wanted to.
I have a final thought.
Okay.
All right, hit me.
Go ye into all the world
and
preach the gospel.
Amen. Not even saying I'm right, just saying that's the way it is with me.